fading light across the room, shadows stretching into blue. Quiet echoes start to fall, I can barely feel it all. Something slipping out of reach. I trace the outlines of your voice through broken thoughts I can't avoid. Every word still lingers here like distant waves I almost hear. The air is heavy with the past, moments I had hoped would last. Every step feels out of place in the silence that you left. I try to gather what remains, but it slips through like the rain, and all the colors start to blur into something less than hurt. The feeling builds but never breaks, a quiet storm I can't escape. Every breath a fragile thread, holding what we never said. The sky begins to fall apart right above my hollow heart, and I can't stop the fall. Hold the light before it fades. Don't let us dissolve away.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our daily YouTube live session. So today is a big day actually because today NFP will be happening tonight later 8:30 p.m. So before I explain about NFP, I will starting off with analysis first because analysis it is also very important. It's one of the most important part when it comes to news. And especially we need to identify the trend first. And NFP usually it will goes according to the plan. All right. So right now in XAU USD, what I see is this morning it is actually downtrend. This morning is downtrend, but right now, just now during in the evening, I noticed there is a change of trend actually happens in 15-minute time frame because there is a continuous of trend happens over here. Hello, Darren. And this is a change of trends happen over here. And right now, what I'm waiting for is because right now, actually, if you wanted to do any trades, it is very dangerous because try not to do a trade 30 minutes or 30 minutes before and after of NFP. But what I foresee right now is there is a change of trend happens over here, and there is also a higher low happen at this level, and there is also a confirmation of trend happens in 15-minute time frame. And right now, if we wanted to do a long trade, we actually can wait for the price to retrace to this EMA. If the price retrace to this EMA and there is an engulfing happens, right, we can choose to enter a long trade. But because this is a 15-minute candle, so which means another 2 more candles, eventually it will form NFP already. So I don't think we will be managed to enter this trade unless the NFP it is not that big today. Because there are sometimes the NFP it is very big, sometimes it is very small. Depends on the situation. But what I foresee is if there is no NFP, right, what I will do is I will wait for the price to come back down to this white color EMA, and if there is an engulfing candle happens on this EMA, eventually I will enter this long trade. And this long trade, the cut loss you can put, okay, maybe you can put at this level, 4458, and then you add some buffer, yeah, somewhere around here, 4456.8. I need to look at the bigger time frame first. Okay, so right now in the bigger time frame, okay, 4-hour time frame. So right now in a bigger time frame, the graph is actually getting slightly weaker already. because the high is getting lower and the low is getting lower as well. So this is not a good sign for uptrend. Okay? If you wanted to do a long trade, this is not a good sign for us. But this is such a big time frame. If we wanted to enter a trade, we will be using 15-minute or 5-minute for this trade. Okay. So right now in XAU time frame, I don't think we will be entering already for this trade because NFP it is happening very very soon. So when we talk about news, a lot of people or there are some communities out there, they will gather at like cafe or gather at a place to trade NFP together. Usually, to be honest, if you ask me this question, can we actually really possible to make money from NFP? Like 30 minutes before or after you you enter this kind of trades before NFP. To be honest, if you ask me, right, there is a little bit of gambling elements in it. Who can predict the news, whether it will go up or down, right? Maybe you are looking at the data of right now is downtrend, but that is just forecast. Okay, this is just forecast. Who knows when it comes up the actual one? Maybe it is going against us, right? So my suggestion is try not to trade 30 minutes before and after of the news because a lot of uncertainties eventually it will happens in the whole market. So if you see a lot of traders out there, they are trading NFP, my word for them is a bit speechless lah, to be honest. Yeah, a bit speechless. But after NFP 30 minutes, then everything it is fine actually. Everything is okay. Okay. But if you wanted to do a trade, let's say you enter a trade at daytime, maybe in the afternoon or morning, right? If you enter at this kind of time, which is like a few hours before NFP, everything is okay. You can hold your trade until NFP. There's no problem because you are not entering the trade before of NFP. Because overall, we have to follow the trend first. If technical analysis tells us right now the trend it is going up or down, most likely during this kind of news happen, right, it will goes according to our direction. So let's say if right now, if let's say currently this thing actually happens in the morning or happens in the afternoon, right? If the trend it is going uptrend and there's also a confirmation of trend happens, if I did really enter this trade, I will definitely hold through NFP because technical analysis tells us the trend it is turning to uptrend right now. And most likely NFP it will go according to technical analysis as well. We have to trust our strategy. We have to trust our technical analysis. This is very, very important. All right? Trust the process as well. So right now in 15-minute time frame, we are looking for uptrend, and this is also the same as for 5-minute as well. There is also a continuous of trend in 5-minute at this level, and this is same level, and this is a higher low actually happens at this level, and there is also a confirmation of trend happening in 5-minute. So if you were to ask me if I really wanted to enter a trade, because right now 5-minute time frame is really very close to this EMA line already, and it's like almost touches this line. But if you would enter this trade, actually it's very risky lah because NFP is really happening very soon, and most likely the market it won't have a lot of volume before the NFP. So that's why just now during the afternoon, somewhere around 3:30 p.m. until right now, the market movement actually it is super small. Okay, compared to recent market. Because if you compare to recent market, right, the graph the market it will easily move around 300 pips or a few hundred pips easily. But this afternoon, it actually moved around just like 80 pips up down, because a lot of traders, they don't dare to do trades. So that's why this kind of incidents, it will happen. All right. So even though if we really saw an entry opportunity in 5 minutes, if let's say it really have an engulfing happens over here, we will just see lah. We don't participate in the process, but we can look, and we can learn from the process, and we can see what will be happening. But most likely, according to my analysis for today, for this NFP, according to the technical analysis, is most likely it will go up for NFP. Most likely it will go up. This is just according to analysis, yeah, to technical analysis. But who knows, later the news come out, it's a green color at the actual over here. If it is actual, eventually it will still comes down very strongly. All right. So we don't take a guess, we just wait. So right now, the trend, it is turning the uptrend. What happened if later the NFP actually it came down? Which level do we actually identify as a change of trends towards the downside? So I will use this point as a change of trends towards the downside. Why do I actually use this level? It is very simple, because there is a confirmation of trend happens at this level. So therefore, I will use this level as a change of trends. So if the price came down to this level, eventually this uptrend, it will fail already. So even though if you have any order on opening right now, you can choose to break even, or you can exit the trade if a change of trend actually happens. And if let's say your trade actually enter at like this kind of level, below level or support level, and change of trend happens, basically you can save yourself first lah, save your fund, save your money. All right, so this is all about XAU. Let me go to BDC. So actually, BDC right now, it is very, very weak. And what I see is right now in 4 hour time frame, we are still consolidating in between this support level. And in 1 hour time frame, what I see is the trend actually, the market, it actually keeps on forming lower high. The high is getting lower, 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 lower. This is a sign of the BDC, it will broke this support level. Because this sign, it tells us the whole market is actually getting very, very weak. And somehow there is also a continuous of trend happens at this level, because this price actually closed below this previous low. So if you wanted to identify a change of trends towards the upside, I will use this point. I will use this point as a change of trends towards the upside. Okay. But if the price in 1 hour time frame, if the price didn't goes above this level, I will definitely wouldn't enter a long trade. And right now, because we are not consolidating below this resistance, we are actually consolidating in between this support level. So this actually tells us a lot of things. Because of this consolidation level, it tells me a few messages. The first message is the trend, it is actually currently uncertain, because the price actually, it didn't know we wanted to go up or down. It is just sitting in the middle. And even though if the price actually goes up of this change of trends, we can slowly to look for a long trade. If the price actually came down, and what should we do next? If the price actually came down, we will need to see the price to retrace back to this resistance level. If the price actually retraces back to this resistance level, then I will slowly to look for a short entry in Bitcoin. But right now, if you tells me you want to short the Bitcoin, I don't suggest you to do it. I don't suggest you because overall the market is actually very risky. Yeah, very risky because the trend it does not have a very clear direction right now. So if we go into 15-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, we also have a continuous uptrend happens at this level, and we will need to see whether the price will come down this level or not. If the price actually came down to 61,400, eventually what I see is a continuous uptrend happens again, and the price it keeps on getting weaker and weaker, and most likely in 1 hour time frame, eventually it will close below this support level already. And the longer it takes in this support level, usually the higher chances of breaking towards the downside is higher. Because there's why does this actually happens? It is because the whole market, a lot of buyers, they are actually very scared right now. They don't dare to enter a trade right now. So that's why the market is getting weaker and weaker lah. And no people are actually taking profit. Those people who are doing short from very high level, they are not taking profit. This is the first thing. And the second thing is there is no people wanting to do a long trade at this level. And that's why this change of trend, it wouldn't happen. Because change of trend, how does it happens? It is because there is a big amount of money are actually getting into the market. What happened? What do you mean what happened? You mean this Bitcoin, is it? Or overall the whole market, what is happening? So right now, we couldn't do anything in Bitcoin because we are just sitting at this level. We will have to wait for the price to either come down or go up. That's all. Don't do any trades right now. We have to wait. Let's go to Ethereum. So for Ethereum, it actually successfully closed below this resistance, this support level already. In 4 hour time frame, just now in the evening, it came down very strongly. So what I foresee right now is we will have to look for a change of trends towards the upside in 15-minute time frame. So I will need to wait for the price to come back down one more time to form a continuous of trend. Wow, at this level. So if the price actually form this continuous of trend, what I foresee next is I will need to see a change of trends and a confirmation of trends. And this uptrend, eventually I wouldn't do a long trade because this is very, very dangerous because overall the buyers in higher time frame, in 1 hour and 4 hour time frame, everything is downtrend. So if you want to do a long trade, I don't recommend you do it. What you can do is you can wait for the trend to be reversed in 15 minutes first towards the upside. So if this actually happens and the price indeed it came back to this resistance level, 4 hour resistance. So after the price actually arrived at this level, I will need to look for a reversal of trends towards the downside. And if this actually happens, a reversal downtrend happens, and we can actually enter a short trade in this 15 minute. And whereby this 15-minute entry, perhaps we can catch a very big trend towards the downside. Because right now, the next support level of Ethereum, it is actually this level. Okay, this level. This level is around 1,489. There is still a very big distance in between of the current price and this support level. There is a total of 10% actually. So right now, we just have to wait for the price to retrace towards the upside first. And we only look for this short entry. So this is for Ethereum. Zikai, what do you mean what happened? Can you explain a little bit what happened? So right now, in 5-minute time frame, I noticed there is engulfing happening soon, another 30 seconds. So in 15-minute time frame, it didn't come back to this CMA, but in 5 minutes, it actually came back to this level already. So right now, what we can do is we can look at the chart, but we can choose not to trade. We can choose not to trade. So even though if later, if really fly very, very high, um, we don't feel bad about it, okay? We don't feel bad about it. Because what happened if I tells you, if the price actually came down, right? But most likely, if the price eventually it will go up lah. Because according to the technical analysis, everything is uptrend right now for 15 minute and 5 minute. But it just only for 1 hour and 4 hour time frame is downtrend. And another thing is trading NFP. The downside of it is if let's say the news later came out and it has a very big long week actually happens, and eventually our cut losses it wouldn't allow us to exit at this level actually, which is 4462. Most likely in the end it will exited at a lower level. Maybe it exit at 4455 or maybe even lower. This kind of cases eventually it will happen. So if you really wanted to trade news, right, what you can do is you can open one more sub account. And this sub account eventually the amount of money you put in it, you have to have a mindset of you will be losing everything already. So which means let's say if you decided to risk $30 for this trade, and for this sub account, you just have to deposit a $30 amount of money into it. Then that's all. Because if this kind of things happen, a very long week towards the downside happens, right? Eventually, it will still won't affect your other money as well, which is your trading account money. It is still very safe lah. So this is actually, if you really wanted to enter during news, you can do it in this way. All right. So another 7 more minutes, and this thing it will happen already. This NFP. We can wait a while, wait another 7 more minutes, and then we see the result whether it will go up or down. So do you guys have any questions regarding today analysis? So if you guys are okay with it, you guys may type okay in the chat room. Okay. Remember one thing, we have to protect our fund. Protecting our money is actually also a type of art as well. If you really wanted to trade news, yeah, it's not that simple, guys. A lot of things will happen. So actually, let me explain to you guys what is actually NFP. So actually NFP, why does it is so big actually, this news? Because NFP, it is actually a combination of a few things. The first thing is, what eventually it will affect NFP. The first industry, it is actually service providing industry. So what are actually included in service providing in US? Property agent, insurance agent, and a lot of servicing providing industry. What are the things? Doing sales or freelancing, this kind of industry that are actually considered service providing. And this industry are actually one of the most impactful in US market because NFP, the full name, it is actually called non-farm payroll. So whatever industry that are not related to farm, eventually it will affect NFP. And the second industry, eventually it will affect NFP. It is actually manufacturing industry. So manufacturing industry, it is actually the second biggest thing that eventually it will affect the data of NFP. And the third thing is construction industry. Construction industry, eventually it will highly affects of the whole NFP data as well. And the fourth industry is retail. And the fifth industry is called technology. So if we're talking about technology, of course there are so many technology companies that are actually in US. Facebook, uh, Google, so many technology company in US, and manufacturing as well. Tesla, Nvidia, and this kind of industry that are actually in US is one of the biggest industry. So all of this eventually it will affect the market and it will affect NFP result. So whenever this industry it has a very high um, unemployment rate, eventually the whole US market eventually it will be very weak. Lor. When the whole US market is eventually it will be very weak, which means US dollar it will go down. And if US dollar go down, eventually the whole market, the whole XAU, eventually it will go up. So how do we actually identify the movement for news as well? So the next thing is we can actually refer to DXY as well. So DXY actually is a US dollar index. So according to technical analysis in XAU, it is uptrend, right? Just now we mentioned about it. But for DXY, actually we are currently sitting at this support level for DXY. Oops. Where is it? Oh, okay. So for DXY currently we are actually sitting at this support level. We are sitting at this support level. So if really this DXY eventually it goes up, right? Most likely for XAU it will goes down. So right now DXY and XAU it really have conflict with each other. Usually I will tell my students I don't recommend you guys to look at DXY if you are just trading normally normal day, because eventually XAU it will have their own trend to be happen in XAU. But when it comes to news, right, actually everything is different. When it comes to news, DXY actually plays a very big part, because if it comes to news, it actually affects US dollar. So NFP it actually affects USD. So that's why we will need to refer to US dollar. So right now, another 1 more minute, NFP it will happens, and this level it is actually support. So most likely I foresee in DXY there is supported by this level. And if this level is really supported, right, most likely in XAU it will go down. Most likely it will go down. The conflict is XAU is going up, but DXY is also going up. But if it comes to news, we have to respect US dollar. We have to respect DXY, which is the US dollar index. We really, really have to respect it. Because NFP, it is actually directly affect US dollar. Okay, another 30 more seconds. NFP data eventually it will announce. Okay, the volatility is getting into the market already. Another 20 more seconds. It comes down already. This one, let me open DXY. Whoa. Uh, oh, NFP came out. Yeah, you see, come down already. So this is most likely it is actually affected by DXY. DXY must be pumping very hard right now. You see, drop so much. Let's see DXY. DXY is pumping very hard. So this is why I said we still have to respect DXY when it comes to news. Because if really DXY it has a very very big volume suddenly comes in, XAU it does not have the amount of volume to actually absorb. Usually why do I actually ignore DXY is because without a news, DXY eventually it will move very very small. You see? The candle is actually very very small. But because of NFP, eventually the candle is very very big. And this candle is eventually it is very big and it can cover so many candles. There's none of the candle are actually this size. And right now in gold, we already foresee a change of trend happens. Change of trend happens at this level. Change of trend. So you guys remember what I said just now? Don't enter 30 minutes before and after of the trades. Even though according to our SOP, right? Even though according to our SOP, we are actually we can do a long trade over here. We can do a long trade over here. But I chose not to enter because of NFP. And eventually it came down. So this is actually how do we actually protect us. Alright. So as of today, if you guys really wanted to do a trade, you guys can do it after 9 o'clock or 9:30. Yeah, 9 o'clock, 9:30. After that, you guys can do trade already. If there is any entry opportunities. So if let's say, because right now we already foresee a change of trends towards the downside, what I want to see is, I want to see the price retraces back up again. I want to see a higher low actually forms. So if this actually forms, I want to see a confirmation of trend happens again. After this confirmation of trend happen, the next thing is the price will need to comes back to this EMA. So if the price actually comes back to this EMA and there is an engulfing candles form, we can enter this short trade. And this one most likely it will happen around 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And one more thing, try not to hold your trade overnight. Because if you hold your trade overnight for tonight, right, eventually you will hold it through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday, Sunday, it is actually market close. So try not to hold it tonight overnight because it is actually a lot of things can be happens during weekend. Maybe tomorrow, Israel, because I actually noticed the news just now. Lebanon and Israel. So Hezbollah actually rejected Israel to cease fire. So what happened if this kind of thing actually happens during weekend? You couldn't do anything if you have an order on your opening. And once the market open and it is going opposite your direction, right? Eventually, you will getting cut loss maybe in a very high place or a very low place. So if let's say if you're entering a short trade, and because of a thing that are actually announced during the weekend. Your cut loss is at this level, but most likely you will be entered at this kind of level and you will be liquidated. So try not to do this kind of things lah. Alright. So if later 10 o'clock indeed you really have a trade set up, we still can enter. But before you sleep, you can exit the trade. Alright, so basically NFP is all about it already. And what we need to do next is just we have to wait for the price to form lah of this downtrend. And for NFP, the news I think is most probably is green color. Yeah, it's green color. So for tonight, basically it is just downtrend. It will just keeps on going down, going down, going down, going down. And most likely it will come back down to these yellow color boxes. These yellow color boxes, it is actually the support level of daily time frame. Because right now, for this news and this news, it is actually black color, which is the same as forecast. So right now, we only have one direction in NFP, which is going down for XAU. There's no other thing already. And DXY, eventually, it will keeps on going up. That's all. Yeah, there's not much thing that will be happening. It won't be going up, down, up, down, up, down so much. Yeah, the bias, it is going down. So this is what I foresee in NFP. Need to wait market to stabilize first. Yes, correct. Need to wait at least 30 minutes after NFP. Right now it's just like 5 minutes only. You guys will need to wait until 9 o'clock. You see NFP actually still have a very big volume. It is still going down. Wow, very strong. This downtrend is very, very strong. Okay, so before we end, I have some announcement to make with you guys. Wait, let me open up the poster. Give me a second. July 18th, we will be happening a physical event, a carnival session. If you are based in KL or Malaysia, you can come over to our carnival. So our carnival, it will be happening at Empire Damansara, 18th of June, 18th of July, and the timing is 1:30 p.m. till 10 p.m. So what we will be doing in this carnival? The first thing is there is a total of 4 traders KOL will be doing sharings on some trading insights with you guys. So which means you can come over and networking with us, you can learn with us, learn trading with us, but at the same time there is also some fun element in it. So what are the fun element in it? The first thing is we will have some very exclusive lucky draw that are happening. And the second thing is we'll be having some games happening during that day. And the third thing is there is a free flow beer. Free flow beer. You heard me right. And of course, dinner is included as well. And this ticket prices, it is 99 ringgit. And this ticket is actually buy one free one. So you can actually bring one friend over. If you split the bill, it is just like 50 ringgit per person. 50 ringgit, and you can come over and to learn trading with us. But at the same time, there is also a free flow beer. If you go to a bar and you drink beer, I don't think you can order 50 ringgit per person. You order one bucket is actually already 120, 200 ringgit already. So you can come over and learn trading with us, and at the same time, you can enjoy, because trading is not about stressful every single day. We will still need to have some fun element in it. So how do you register? Very simple. You can just scan this QR code and eventually it will lead you to a Google form. And so this is for announcement 1. And announcement 2 is if you would like to join our VIP, you can actually scan this QR code above my camera. So every single day from Monday to Friday, we will be doing live training session. And when you join our VIP session, eventually we will teach you on strategy as well. So we actually have a strategy that are actually trading on consolidation period. 70% of the market eventually are in consolidation status. And you guys may use this strategy to trade and eventually to make profit in it. So today, I actually do have students. He actually used this strategy to have a strict 5 TP today. And of course, there are some losses as well. The total losses is 3 and total TP is 5 trades. And the winning rate is around 62%. A 62% winning rate. And according to my back test of this strategy, it is also around 60 to 70%. So if you wanted to learn this strategy, very simple. You may scan the QR code above and my team will assist you in joining our VIPs. And everyone is welcome to learn trading together. And I see you guys next week. Bye bye. Bye bye. I will put this registration for this carnival over here for a few minutes. Alright, see ya everyone. Bye bye.
Soft reflections in the glass, shadows of a fading past. Every memory turns to gray, slowly drifting far away. If I could turn the time around, find the words I never found, would it change the way it ends, or just break us once again? Now the silence feels so loud, like a weight I can't push out, and I'm left here in between. Fading light begins to go, taking all I used to know. Every trace is falling through, all that's left is missing you, and the quiet stays with me. City lights are breaking through,